Good evening, good afternoon, happy Sunday, friends. Welcome once again to Sunday Evening Chat with Adebowale Onofuwera. How are we doing today? I'm sure we've had a wonderful time getting set for the working days of this new week. Yeah, thank you everyone for always joining this chat. This is a place where we discuss ideas, insights, you know, into certain pressing issues. And I use this time out to share some of, do I use the word wisdom, ideas, insights that I personally have on pressing matters from agriculture to life and all sorts. And it has been a wonderful time since I started this. So today I will be taking some questions that people have been posting. I've managed to put together 14 of them. I asked if anyone have one or two questions, they can put it in the chat box earlier in the post I made announcing this. But I've gotten some private chats and I've put together 14. I hope I can answer all these 14 and we will move from there. So once again, happy Sunday and thank you for joining. Tolu, thank you for always joining. Termine, thank you for joining. Madam Tabitha, how are you, man? Thank you for joining. How is Ontario? Yes, I don't know if we are still allowed to take some new questions. If I am, you can post it. I will see if we have time to do that. But I will be taking the ones that have been sent to me earlier on. We're on with that. And then we move from there. So I'm sure we had a wonderful time at church, at home, wherever you have been today. Yes, let's kick the ball rolling because of time. Some other people will join us later. Please share this on your timeline, share with your friends as usual. Let's make it go around so that everyone that may benefit one way or the other can benefit from this. Welcome again, Algochima. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. So I'll be starting with the first question somebody sent. He said, what is the benefit? If it's convenient, you can also post the question on my behalf as I'm reading it out. He said, what is the benefit of the right season in crop production? What benefit does, I think that's a good way to put it, what benefit does the right season, the correct season, gives towards crop production? How does the right season benefit crop production? That is, crops have seasons. You must have heard that it is orange time. It is agbalumo time. Agbalumo is African cherry. It is apple time. There's something about seasons. So crops are cheapest during their season. They are readily available. So what is the benefit of the right season towards crop production? Number one, the crop grows best in its season. That's the first thing. Everything has its season. So for crop, there is the season for crop production. Tomato is the summer crop. What do I mean? Tomato grows best in dry season. for those that understand dry season. For those that understand summer, summer is the time to grow tomato. Why? Because tomato needs certain amount of heat. You know, it doesn't like cold temperature. And the tomato does not like water even touching its leaves. So it grows best when it's not rainy season, or it's not rainy, and then it's not so cold. So at the right season, crops gives you their best. The right season is the best time to grow a crop. So crop production is cheapest at the right season. Season also favors crops. Crops are made for the right season. There are crops that cannot withstand certain things, certain nature, whatever nature has to throw at it. So if they are grown in the right season, they give you the best. Let me give you another example. Look at onions. Any crop that forms bulb, like onions, like cabbage, they are crops that go through something called photoperiod. That is, they are better grown when the temperature is cold, when you have low light. And then they matures when you have more light. If you are in the tropics, you may not understand low light and more light. Sorry, my voice is a little bit wonderful. Just manage it. So, you want to grow onions. You want a good result from onions. You need to plant it around May. Plant it before June. You can even plant it in April. And then it goes into maturity through June. The same thing ginger, the same thing yam. You get what I'm trying to say? So when you plant them around that time, you get the best and you spend the least. Because of technology, we can now plant crop any time of the year. But when you are planting crop when it is not the crop season, you have to make room, or you have to supplement certain things. For example, when you are supposed to plant when there is more light and you don't have enough light, you have to supplement light. You get what I'm saying? So you have to plant when you have low light, but you are planting in more light, you have to shade more. So planting crop at the right season helps the crop to give you its best, help the farmer to save cost, and it has a disadvantage. Excuse me. As good as all that I have said is, crops are cheapest during their season. So for a business person, you want to make money, you may need to understand the season and manipulate it. What do I mean? Tomato is cheapest in the season, but tomato is more expensive out of season. So a businessman, a farmer, will work on himself to understand how to cultivate a crop when that crop is not in season. Because you make more money when it is not in season. There is a time every year when palm oil is always expensive. Out of season. There is a time every year when onions is always expensive. You understand what I'm saying? So, all crops are mostly expensive. You make most profit from crop production when you cultivate and harvest it out of its season. I want you to note that. When you cultivate it out of its season, it is when you get the most from the crop. Can I repeat that? You make the most money. You get the most benefit when you cultivate a crop out of a season. So as a businessman, an agripreneur, an agribusiness practitioner, go and learn how to grow crops when the crop is not in season. And that is when you can make a lot of money. I hope you get what I just said. So from you, that's the answer to the question. The second question here says, what is the difference between a GMO and an hybrid seed? Especially for me, that's an hydroponic farmer, I get a lot of this question. People get to say, you people are giving us chemical, you're giving us GMO, you're doing all sorts. GMO is a short form or is an acronym for genetically modified organism. Genetically modified organism. So a GMO means a GMO is a crop that is created out of its natural habitat or out of its natural formation. It is genetically modified. The gene of the crop is worked on. The reason for GMO is subjective. Most people only focus on the negative part of GMO. They don't think about the positive side of GMO. In science, there's something called genomics. You can Google genomics and read quite a lot about it. That diseases and certain things are susceptible or happens to anything that has life at the gene level. So if the gene can be worked on, can be manipulated, can be touched, certain things can be corrected. When you see a sickle cell person, it's a genetic thing. The sickled cell is in the gene. So if you can take it out, that means you can change the gene of that person. The same thing about crops. Crops are susceptible to certain diseases. So science came up with, can we alter the gene of crops so that when certain insect comes, when certain pest comes, when certain disease arises, it does not affect or wipe out the crop. In doing that, sometimes they add certain things to the gene of that seed. So that, like, there are certain pests that when you eat a particular crop, either grain, the leaf, or any part of the plant that you take, there is a pesticide embedded at the genetic level of that crop that kills or destroys the internal organ of that pest. So that pest does not survive. But we have also found that this pesticide or this alteration have a long-term effect on the humans that are consuming it. A lot of Africans, let me use Nigerians, think, oh, GMO crops are only imported into Nigeria. It's a lie. Even Nigeria produces GMO. For example, the most effective GMO cowpea beans in the world is the Nigerian beans. Because Nigeria is the country that has produced the beans that is most unsusceptible to that bean weevil that destroys beans. So there is a GMO bean seed, which helps to preserve farmers' harvest, and make beans available in the country. That's just it. So that's GMO. So, but GMO have more negative probably than positive, depending on how you are looking at it. Now, what is an hybrid? An hybrid is a breed that is produced from crossing two separate two separate breeds of the same crop family for you to get a better future. That's what an hybrid is. You want a brown crop, you bring a black and a white crop to cross them so that you can get a brown crop. You understand? So, for example, there is a particular fish, catfish in Nigeria called Dutch Clarias or Hollandis. Dutch Clarias is an hybrid of African catfish and the Dutch catfish. Many years back, the Dutch came, they took their own breed of catfish that grows fast, but not strong. They cannot survive outside water. They are not so strong, you know. And they discovered that the African catfish is very heady, very strong, but doesn't grow fast. So they took the pure African catfish and a pure Dutch catfish, they crossed them to arrive at the hybrid, though they gave it their name, Dutch Clarias. So Dutch Clarias is an hybrid of the Dutch Clarias catfish and the African catfish. There is another type of catfish called Heterobranchus. Heterobranchus has certain features. It's sometimes, if the male is sterile, sometimes, it has very minimal egg, but it grows bigger than Clarias. Clarias is the normal catfish. When you look at the dorsal fin, it's single. For Heteroclarias, it has double dorsal fin. Fish farmers, you understand what I'm saying? So farmers now understood that if I take a Clarias and I cross it with an Heterobranchus, I will get what is called Heteroclarias. Heteroclarias is an hybrid of pure Clarias or Clarias garipienus and Clarias heterobranchus. What is the benefit of Heteroclarias? It's a fish that grows big. As big as it grows, it does not accumulate so much egg. So it's good for the market. Most times when a catfish crosses 6 months, it starts to produce egg. And if you want your catfish to grow big, 2 kg, 3 kg, you must have kept the fish for like 8 to 12 months. At that time, if it's pure Clarias, 20 to 30% of the fish will be eggs. So farmers and market women don't like that. Then they now start to opt for what we called Heteroclarias, which grows big, yet does not carry egg. Because the hybrid of Heterobranchus and Heteroclarias is somehow sterile. So the female does not even have egg that is, useful. So it makes business good. You understand what I'm trying to say? So hybrid is not bad. Don't let anybody deceive you. In fact, we have hybrid human beings. You call them mulatto. When a white man marries a black woman, the child is an hybrid. So that's just simply what an hybrid is. But GMO is you have altered the gene at some point in the life of the crop. You have altered the gene. You have touched the gene. You have done something. You have added something. Medically, it's a major technology that is happening now. So that you can predict, this is how we want this thing to grow. Altering gene can make a crop or animal grow for a certain number of years. For human beings, they are using genomics in medication now. Altering people's gene to take out certain diseases that are hereditary from the family. A family that has cancer or susceptible to cancer, they altered the gene at the time, created a GMO version of that person, and they take that thing that causes it out. This is real. So that's the issue. Now, for farmers, I think our problem for now should not be GMO. A country that has not produced or that is not food sufficient, why are you shouting GMO? They import food to you. If you say you don't want GMO in your country, where they are bringing the food from? What type of seed do you think they planted? What type of seed do you think they planted? I see all sorts of things flying on social media. Yeah, farmers must demonstrate. Farmers from blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. But yes, there are certain GMO that when you plant it, what it will bring out may affect when bird takes it and spread it and blah, blah, blah. Well, yes. But you are not controlling your food. You that should care about controlling your food. Farmer Samson. Look at that simple analysis. All babies are actually hybrid of a crossbreed between their parents, and that's the truth. A child is not. That's the truth. All babies are hybrid. Yes. It's the truth. I told somebody, a Yoruba man marrying an Igbo woman, their child is pure hybrid. What do we call it? Yoru Igbo. Hausa man marrying Igbo woman. Awu Igbo, right? An Ogun State man marrying an Ekiti man. Even though you are both Yoruba, you are still hybrid. So truly, all babies are hybrid. It's, in fact, that's a very good definition of what an hybrid is. It's just a cross. Now, why do you have certain crop? Let's now go back to what. Why do you have certain crop? That when you plant the seed, they tell you don't plant whatever fruit, seed you get from it. It's because of quality. When it comes to hybrid, the first offspring from two crossing seeds, every seed has a male and a female. The first offspring, which becomes the next fruit or seed, is called first filial generation, F1. So when you say, oh, I have an hybrid, it's F1. There are certain qualities you will have in F1 that you won't have in F2. So in order not to gamble, all the time, take or buy F1 seed that you are sure that this is the outcome. This seed will always give me this result. In a part of the world, in a lot of Africans don't take seed production serious. But we take our seed from our harvest. And that's why you see certain issues. I still see a lot of people, you want to be a successful farmer, you are buying fruit and vegetable from the market, you are preserving the seed. You are just deceiving yourself because you cannot get the best. That's not been intentional. You get it? You can't get the best from that seed. The best seed are gotten when good male and good female are purposely put together to produce, an offspring that has certain quality. Every good farmer, every successful farmer knows he must go for hybrid. Look at tilapia fish. It's the same thing. If you go to the river and harvest tilapia fish and you say you want to grow it, it won't even grow big. You'll be wasting your money. But yeah, there are certain tilapia fingerling that are specifically bred by breeders. Some we call it YY, all male tilapia. No, there is a way, there's something they have done to the parents' stock that it produces with certain gene, and such fish, they grow well. It also means about 80 to 90% of the offspring from such fish are male. It has been established that male tilapia fish grow bigger than the female ones. What the female fish needs to grow big, use it to produce babies and all that. So when they go for YY, all male, is because you want to grow 1 kg, 1.5 kg tilapia fish within 6 to 8 months. And that is how hybrid is gotten. I hope we understand what an hybrid is. Now, okay, the person asked, he said, what is my take on GMO? You see, like I have said, I think GMO should not be our headache. The headache of people, especially in Africa, should be food sufficiency. Produce your own seed. Have enough seed that can go round. Produce the best breed first before you start shouting, we don't want GMO. GMO to me, for Africans, is a diversionary tactic. A lot of people shouting we don't want GMO are actually not sitting down to understand what the food production system is all about. Every advanced and knowledgeable farmer will tell you GMO is not the problem, because we are not producing our food yet. Why are we now shouting you don't want? There are certain rice variety. See, other people have advanced because there is the part of localization to everything we grow. Look at the poultry industry. 99% of the poultry birds, laying birds, broiler that you have in a country like Nigeria are foreign breed. Some years back, a professor from FUNAB produced the first localized laying bird. Where is it today? Where is FUNAB Alpha? FUNAB Alpha is the first local hybrid laying bird that Nigeria can lay hold on. But where is it today? How many FUNAB Alpha are in our farms? That particular bird is produced for the environment. It gives the best in laying certain qualities for the environment. Somebody, a question someone asked, which just came to mind now, because I'm talking about this hybrid and GMO thing, is, so why is it difficult to commercialize or increase these local varieties? I remember Professor Mr. Adebambo, thank you, Farmer Samson. I remember somebody, I don't want to go into their politics, but if you did not sponsor somebody's work, how can you come and say you want to claim it? And that is why one of the major things we need to tell our institutions, our people, is put enough fund into the work of certain people so that the public, the general people can benefit from it. Nobody, you see, if someone open source certain idea, certain discovery, it's because, probably someone has paid for that same thing in another way. Yes. So I want to encourage, if you know anybody in government, whatever, a lot can be done because we have not started at all. And that is why I don't join the argument on those shouting GMO is bad, GMO is good, blah, blah, blah. When you are hungry, you will eat anything. In the Bible, parents were eating their children. That was the story of two women that agreed. One said, we will eat my child today. Next week, when we finish my child, we will eat your own. So she joined her friend to eat the friend's child. When it was time for her own child to be eaten, she ran away with it. It got to that level. So if people are hungry, you are not telling them, don't go for GMO. You are just deceiving yourself. It's a total waste of time. Those that are producing GMO is because they became food sufficient. They've done all they can on hybrid. They looked at LUC and they said, okay, this will not get us to where we are going. And they look at what it costs to fight certain disease. All these diseases and pests are also mutating. They are forming resistance to certain things we are using. Excuse me, to certain things we are using to fight them. You remember those days we used to use chloroquine to fight malaria. What happened to quinine? When did this stop becoming an efficient malaria drug? Today it's Amatem. Dr. Showumi, please, what are we using to fight malaria now? Artemether or whatever. It's because some of these things are now forming resistance to what you are using. And that is why you have certain protocol. my farmers, agronomists know when we use this particular pesticide or fungicide this week, we change it next week. So that when these things are forming resistance or something to what you are using, another one comes, attack it from another angle. So let us understand. My take on GMO is what I've told you. GMO is not my headache for now. I am not an advocate for or against. I am an advocate for food security. Zero hunger. When we have achieved zero hunger, then I will sit down to internalize what we should do about GMO. That's what I think about. From my part, I am for hybrid seed 100%, and I am for food security 100%. The next question I will be going into, somebody said, he said, how is soil different from substrate? We have said it over and over that soil is that organic matter, excuse me, that you grow your crop in. It has certain characteristics. The three most important characteristics that a farmer look out for is water holding capacity. Excuse me, sorry. I'm a little bit under the weather. Water holding capacity. Water holding capacity is how much water can the soil hold. Clay water holds a lot of water. So you don't want a good soil to have 100% clay. But there should be an amount of clay quality in the soil. It should be able to hold certain amount of water. We have what we call porosity. A good soil must be porous. What does porosity do? It allows oxygen to go into the soil. See, if I don't have saliva in my mouth, can I swallow food? The answer is no. It is the saliva in my mouth that allows food to go in. But does saliva add anything to my body? If I'm just swallowing saliva and I don't eat, will I grow fat? Will I be healthy? No. So, for crop to uptake nutrient, crop uses its root to take nutrient from the soil. For crop to take up nutrient, oxygen must be present at the root zone level. The reason why crops and plants die in stagnant water is because there are no oxygen. So porosity characteristics helps plant to take nutrient from the soil. As saliva helps food to go into your stomach so that your stomach can digest and use the food, the same way porosity helps oxygen to penetrate the root level of plant. The third characteristics that is important for a good soil, we call it cation exchange capacity. That is, nutrients, fertilizer, whatever you give to your plant is either positively charged or negatively charged. So the capacity of that soil to help positive ions and negative ions to bind together and work for the plant. So these are what plants look out for in soil. The fourth thing soil does, it acts as an anchor, a support, so that when wind blows, your plant will not fly away. Sometimes when there is flood or water, whatever, you understand, your plant is not uprooted. So a substrate, but with all these benefits, the soil is also a very conducive environment for microbes. Over the years, because of irresponsible fertilizer usage and certain things, we now have a lot of what we call non-beneficial microorganisms in the soil. Nematodes, certain things. It's easy for these non-beneficial microorganisms to survive in the soil, so they affect plant growth. Science discovered all these qualities in soil, and substrate was adopted or created. Substrate is anything that has all the qualities that I have mentioned that soil must have, but it does not have nutrient. No positive, no negative. It's sterile. It has nothing. You understand? So all you need for the plant to grow, you are the one that give it to the plant. Look at this. There's something called reverse osmosis water. What is reverse osmosis water? It means water normally has nutrient. It has nutrient. Every time you take water, if you take EC meter, electronic conductivity meter, to check, you will see that there are nutrients in water. You may not know. It may have iron, it may have fluoride or whatever. Now, when water passes through a reverse osmosis machine, it kills both good and bad nutrients in the water. So the water does not have anything. If you drink water that does not have anything, it does not help your body. Our body is 70% water. Certain minerals must be in water for water to help us. So when you take substrate, most substrate does not have anything. That is why when you buy a substrate like cocoa peat, you will ask, is it buffered? Because naturally cocoa peat is acidic. You know, it's from coconut husk that has spent so much time, maybe in salt and acid environment and all that. So they can wash it and make it clean. But you need to ask, is it buffered? If it is not buffered, it must be buffered. That is why buffered cocoa peat is more expensive. A buffered cocoa peat is a substrate that they have added certain basic nutrients to it after its production. So the difference between a soil and a substrate is soil naturally occurs, certain nutrients substrate to also naturally occurs, but the substrate does not have anything in it. So you must add the nutrient to it. Somebody, I have a contribution here. Israel Ferron Najibadi said, availability of food should be our priority, not GMO. Tomato as at today is 2,005 per kg. Let me repeat what Israel just said. Tomato used to be 400 naira per kg, 500 naira per kg. But tomato as at today, 26th of May, is 2,005 per kg, 50,000 per crate. Pepper, same thing. So how can we fight this? Should be our talk, not GMO. Thank you very much. That's my take too. That's my stand. And I am sure every responsible, don't let me use the word responsible. Most farmers that are true farmers, so I'm not talking about internet farmer or farmers that are just coming up, know that it is not the time to be saying you want or you don't want GMO. Because it's just a diversionary tactic for certain people. Make food available. Food. Ludwig Andres, a German philosopher, said, food is the beginning of wisdom. Now, the first condition of putting anything in your mind is to first put food in your stomach. When there is no food in your stomach, nothing goes into your mind. It's just that. So let's secure food first before we now start talking about whether the seed is genetically modified or not. Otherwise, we'll be chasing, you'll be trying to fight a war you have lost from the beginning. When people become hungry, they will eat anything. I hope we get that. And I hope we now understand the difference between soil and substrate. So substrate can be organic, it can be non-organic. We have several types of substrate. Now today we have substrate made from rice husk, substrate made from coconut husk, that is the back of coconut. Rice husk is the waste back of rice. You have substrate made from rock wool. Granite can be a substrate. Sand is a substrate. Because sand does not have water holding capacity. You understand? It's just bare. So those are substrate. So most people, or for farmers like us who does soilless farming, we use substrate because you can control that growing environment. You can give the plant what it needs in the quantity that it needs, and then you get your result. The next question here is, which is better, livestock or crop farming? That question, I don't know how to answer it. I don't know which is better, livestock or crop farming. It depends on you. It depends on your market. It depends on what you have ahead of you. It depends on your location. Both farming are wonderful farming. I've been a fish farmer. I still grow fish. I'm a vegetable farmer. I've grown pigs. I've had several cows, those livestock and all that. It depends on one, what gap are you trying to fill? What gap? Secondly, what resources do you have available to you? For me, I think mixing both may be better depending on where you find yourself. Sometimes it's good to have focus. Let me just focus on this type of farming or type of crop and produce more of it and make more money. Because when you also focus, you see, we say focus creates blindness. When you are focused on a particular thing, you are blind to every other thing. It helps you to perfect the production cycle, to understand the crop. There is a lot to learn about agricultural produce, either livestock or vegetable. There is this common saying that jack of all trades, master of none. Well, I don't believe in that saying anyway, but where I'm going is, it's good to have focus, have something you are strong on. So when you focus so much on that thing, you understand it and you can produce it cheapest and at the best rate. You understand? So that's just it. You can't survive, thank you, Rhoda. You can't survive solely on crop. You need crop, you need livestock. But you just pick your own path, and then focus on it based on certain things that are available in your environment. Just choose the one that is most conducive and most comfortable for you and go for it. Crop farmers are making a hell of money. Livestock farmers are making a hell of money. So it depends on what you're focusing on. Pick your, somebody said everything is hard, but pick your hard. So it's the same thing about farming. Pick what you want to do. As a livestock farmer, there are crops you can produce and you will make very good money. As a vegetable farmer, there are crops you can produce and you make very good money. But you just need to understand the dynamics of, both crop to know what to go into. The next question is, what is the most important skill or quality for success in agriculture? To me, the most important quality for success in agriculture is also the most important quality for success in any life vocation. And the answer is attitude. See, good people will always build good companies. Companies don't build themselves. I focus more on attitude than even what you know. You can be the most brilliant agronomist and you won't build a good company. Company will fail in your hand. Nobody will want to work with you. Nobody will want to stay around you. Attitude is the most important quality you should look out for if you want to build a good company or good organization as a farmer. That's why I said it's the same thing. It's not even just for farming business. Any type of business, attitude first. I work on the people. I focus more on the person. You see, my mentor taught me that several years back, and it's something I've sticked to. Good people will build good companies. Make the people good, the company will be good. But if you have bad people, bad attitude, greedy. They don't believe in you. They don't believe in process. Excuse me. They don't believe that certain things takes time. No matter what you put in, they will always produce a bad company for you. So if you're a greenhouse farmer, the number one skill for success on your farm is not the best agronomist. I'm telling you the truth. It's attitude. If you don't have people with good attitude, forget it, your business is gone. Your business will not move to the next level. The biggest challenge we have in any business is attitude. People with wrong and bad attitude trying to run organizations. What challenge are we having in the civil service in Nigeria, in politics, in entrepreneurs? Is attitude. So many people are looking for those that they will cheat, people that they will scam. You understand what I'm trying to say? It is the attitude. So attitude is the first thing you need to fix if you want to build a great company. I'm repeating it. Good people will build good company. Companies don't build themselves. Every great company you see is a reflection of the attitude of the people running it. It's a reflection of the attitude of the people working there. It's a reflection of the attitude of the personnel in the company. So attitude is the most important thing. If you want to hire someone, if you want to get partners, if you want to build a good company, if you want to set up, look out for the attitude. Check the attitude first. If the attitude is good, you can add every other thing to it. You can train leaders. You can build them. You can add other things to them. But their attitude is the first thing that will guarantee success in agriculture or any industry. Somebody said, can I do hydroponic outside the greenhouse? The answer is yes. Hydroponic is a word coined from the Greek word. Hydro means water. Ponics means work. So hydroponics means water works. Water can work in the greenhouse. Water can work outside the greenhouse. What you need to ask is, what crop am I producing? There are certain crops that water can touch their leaves and you can grow them outside the greenhouse. So you just control the soil or substrate environment and it's still hydroponics. So you can do hydroponics outside the greenhouse. Just that when it comes to hydroponics, you see, don't get carried away by thinking hydroponic is the ultimate. Food production is the ultimate of everything we are doing. It doesn't make sense if you use so much technology to produce food that you cannot sell. Somebody just said tomato is 2,500 in the market. If you say you are using a particular hydroponics technology, and then the cost of producing 1 kilo of tomato is 10,000, and you want to add profit, and you go to the market, you say my tomato is 12,000, and they say why? You say it's hydroponics. Who will buy it? Who will buy it? So nobody cares about whether the market does not care whether you do hydroponics or you are not doing hydroponics. The market cares about what crop or food have you brought to the market, at what cost, what is the quality of the food. So when you can now work on where you sell your food to, the kind of market you sell it to, you now have a niche market. When others are paying 2,500, you have a market that can pay 5,000. Better for you. But it starts with food production. It's the business. So yes, you can grow hydroponically outside the greenhouse, just that it is limited to the type of crop you can grow. So when we now look at the crop to produce, high value crop in Nigeria, why will you go ewedu in hydroponics? How much do you want to sell a kilo of ewedu? But in Canada, you can grow ewedu in hydroponics. Because a kilo of ewedu in hydroponics in Canada commands a better price than even tomato. Tomato is easier is commonly grown hydroponically in Canada, in America, in Holland, everywhere. They don't need to pay to transport it from Lagos to Europe, to UK, to America, to Canada. You get what I'm saying? So if you grow it locally there, cost of transport alone, when you add it, it is enough to put you in business. So look at where you are growing. Yet, beef tomato, certain cherry tomato, bell pepper, at certain quality, the bulkiness, the size, the color, if they need to bring it from far into your own market in Enugu, in Lagos, in Owerri, you can grow them in hydroponic and you get your result. So if you want to grow pepper, tomato better in hydroponics, it should be an environment where water cannot touch the leaves easily. So those are the things that you should focus more when you are thinking of growing hydroponically. The next question is, what are the available opportunities in the African agribusiness market? It says, sure opportunities. There are plenty. Opportunity is location-based. The available opportunity in Lagos is not the available opportunity in Kano. Let me give you an example. Let's look at tomato. Tomato is 2005, maybe in my 12. Tomato sold in my 12 can come from Kano, can come from Katsina, can come from Jos. So if you are bringing 30 tons of tomato from Kano, Jos, Katsina to Lagos, you need to hire a trailer. You need to pay certain amount. It will take a minimum of 3 to 5 days, depending on the state of the road. So I'm sure a 30-ton truck from Kano, Katsina, Jos, coming to Lagos cannot be less than probably 3 million today. So that 3 million is not added to the cost of the crop is carrying. You get what I'm trying to say? So somebody in Ogun State can bring tomato to the same I-12. It will sell at 2.5, but 3 million transportation has been removed. But to grow enough quantity in Ogun State, you may need some amount of technology. Ogun State is closer to Lagos. There is a sea in Lagos. To grow tomato well, you need certain amount of humidity in the environment. Tomato does better when you are at a certain height from the ocean. So the north gives better environment to grow tomato in the open than the south. Do you get what I'm saying? So the benefit you get from climate growing in the north, you can get it in the south growing with technology where you can control the environment. So you now need to look, when I'm controlling the environment, what will it cost me to control the environment over transporting over a distance? So opportunity is based on your location. Secondly, what is the size of the market around me? What is the size of the market around me? So you need to look at these things to inform you on what to grow. So available opportunities for African agribusiness market is there. Let me tell you, sure. Regardless of the state of the economy, even if you are paying 3,000 naira for a liter of fuel, whatever the situation is, the only thing everybody cannot do without is food. Let me use the word of Farmer Samson. Hunger is not seasonal. Just understand that. Every day hunger exists. So every day food must be cultivated. Food must be produced. Food production can't be seasonal. That's the only thing. Bishop Oyedepo used a word. He said there is no software that can produce tomato yet. In America, in Europe, in Canada, they now grow meat in the lab. They take certain tissue, certain cell, from animals or whatever, and they multiply it in the lab. But it's so expensive. You can't write a code to produce chicken. You must grow it. So just understand that. So because people must eat, their food production is a major business. That is why developed nations don't play with food production. Ukraine has been in war for a long time. Ukraine is still one of the largest producers of grains. Despite the fact that war is going on, they cannot afford to stop. They are fighting their war with one hand. They are growing their food with the other hand. Israel is at war. I add that if you want to go and work in the kibbutz or in certain places in Israel to grow food, they are paying 5 times what they were paying before the war. So certain people are risking it, they are going. Because you can't stop food production. That's the way it is. Food must be produced. So there is a huge opportunity in the African agribusiness sector. Anyone that is thinking about it, please go for it. You want to know more? Yeah, we can talk in camera. The next question here, I have 5 more minutes. How can you help us grow rich from nothing using agriculture? There is a king called King Shama. He was a king in India several years back. They said like 2,000 years ago. They said that king at the time was the wisest king on earth. So when he clocked 60, he called his chiefs. He had 12 of them and said, we are old. We may die anytime. But if I am said to be the wisest king on earth, it's because I have you people around me. I don't want to die with my wisdom. I want to pass it on to the next generation. So I want you guys, all of you chiefs, to document what has made me wise in a book. Present it on my next birthday so that we can pass it back down to our next generation. On his next birthday, the chiefs came with 12 encyclopedias each with different wisdom. And the king looked at it and said, you people are not serious. Who will read all this compendium of encyclopedia? It's too voluminous. And they said, king, give us 1 year to, summarize. So they summarized everything in the 12 encyclopedia. They came back when the king was 62, second year, with one big encyclopedia. The king said, this is still too much. They went, they summarized a whole year. They came back with one note. The king said it's too much. They kept summarizing, compressing the wisdom. Then one day they came back with a sheet. The king looked at them and said, a sheet is too much. I want a simple wisdom statement. After 7 years, they came back to the king with one sentence. When the king read the sentence, he said, yes, you are talking. Guess what is in the sentence? He said, it's the greatest wisdom on earth. The sentence read thus: on earth, you cannot get something for nothing. Somebody can help me type that. On earth, this earth, the greatest wisdom is you don't get something for nothing. See, if you want something and you don't want to give something, forget it. That thing is not valuable. Every great something costs something. Write it down. Every great something costs something. Put it another way. You cannot get something for nothing. Anyhow you put it. To have something, you must give something. There is a cost to everything. A mentor of mine said, anything you want, anything you desire in life as a required. Identify the required so that you can get the desired. For the desired, there is a required. Just focus on the required. So whoever asks this question, how can you grow big? How can you grow rich in agriculture using nothing? The answer is I don't know. I don't know how you want to grow, how you want to do it. You can't grow rich giving nothing. Sir, it's not possible. Your time is something. Time is life. So You want to grow rich, you must give something. Let me tell you my formula. You don't have money at all. Maybe you think you don't. In any sector, what I tell people is this. There is a process involved in everything. I have a 5-year plan to most things. If you put in 5 years into something, you will be shocked at the result that you can get at the end of the 5th year. You will be shocked. Now, what do I mean? Maybe in your first year, you are learning. There is a reason why education in university, polytechnic, and all that takes 4 to 5 years. I tell people 4 to 5 year plan. You want to be rich, you want to be successful in something, go through that process. When you have the right person to learn from. So, in 5 years, what do? You first learn, then you earn. You first learn, then you earn. Commit certain number of years to learning, and you start earning. When you do that, you will be shocked. So what you don't have in money, commit it in time. Commit it in your resources. Look for somebody. Serve someone. What's the name of this man? Jack Ma. At the time, the richest man in Asia. Precisely in China. He said, when you are below 30, don't look for a great company to work in. Look for a great entrepreneur or a great somebody to serve. The man that built the largest, the largest democracy in the world, his name is Mahatma Gandhi. A young man went to Mahatma Gandhi during the lifetime of Mahatma Gandhi. I said, Mr. Gandhi, I want to work with you. I'm ready to work with you. And Mr. Gandhi asked him a question He said, what are you doing currently, young man? The young man said, I am not doing anything. Mr. Gandhi said, okay, what do you know how to do? The young man said, I don't know how to do anything. Mr. Gandhi said, what have you learned? He said, nothing. But I'm not committed to anything. I am free. You know what Mr. Gandhi told the man? Mr. Gandhi said, young man, you are useless. Totally useless. He said, before you can be useful to mankind, you must first raise yourself. Useless people are not useful for anyone. He said, so young man, first go and commit to something. When you have raised yourself, you can then come and be useful to mankind. And that's the formula. So, my answer to this person is commit to something first. Just pick something. Learn first. You must become before what you do can give you result. Listen, no matter how much sex a 7-year-old girl engages in, she cannot produce children because even though she's a girl, her eggs are not yet developed. She must first become a woman. She must first develop her eggs before a man can fertilize it and produce children. Do you get what I'm saying? So there is a person you must become. So mainly in life, in vocations, in business, in anything, you must learn first. You must become first. Then what you do can produce result. So to the person that asked me this question, how can I help you grow rich from nothing in agriculture? Pick a part of agriculture you want to go in. Learn. Is it livestock? Is it vegetable? Is it cash crop? Whatever area. Is it processing? Is it service? Go and learn first. Don't look at the money. Don't look at the money. Find a mentor. Find somebody who has succeeded in that part. Learn from him first. Then success can be achieved. Then success can be produced. You must first learn. Then you will start to earn. That's how you will become big. That's how you will become rich. Learning time differs based on people. That's where I'm going. I registered my company, BIC Farms Concept, in 2006. October 2006. You heard that? But before then, I was working with my father's company, Bon Shalom, my father's farm, from 2003. When I now separated, I set up my own company in 2006. I'm seeing one of my friends, Anaburo here, that we have, we've done quite a lot in our Greek together. Evangelist Sheo Ogunbanjo. How are you doing, my brother? He can remember. You know what I'm saying? Now, for several years, I was only surviving. I was bootstrapping. I was only surviving. For almost 10 years. I'm telling you that. Before I started doing more productive things. But I learned a lot all through these years. I learned a lot. So, yet, there are people who started 2016, 2017, 2020 even. But they took time to quickly learn. They stood on the shoulder of somebody who had gotten somewhere. Well, I remember when I started my first major issue in 2004. I spent 2 months with Mr. Yenigizi to learn how to breed using recirculatory aquaculture system. See, the 2 months gave me an experience of several years. But I still need to learn how to build a business. Some people think being a technician, knowing how to grow fish, knowing how to grow vegetable is all you need to know about business. No. Farmers who own big farms will tell you that production skill is the least skill that is needed to grow a big business. Management skill is big. How to handle people. How to tolerate certain things. How to cast a vision. How to show a plan. How to sell. Sell your product. So there are a lot. It takes time to develop all these things. But it depends on you. So first focus on certain aspects. For example, let me end with this. Somebody said, you cannot be rich working for people. It's a lie. You see, it took someone like me several years. My first 10 years in business, I was learning processes. Making my mistake. If I've been privileged to work with a structured agripreneur, maybe I will only spend 2 years to learn what it took me 10 years to learn. Maybe I will only spend 5 years to learn what it took me 10 years to learn. Some people don't wait enough to learn, to pick all they need to from their mentor, from the person they are working with, before they run away. You understand? So there are things. So when they say you can't be rich working for someone, it's a lie. Don't let anybody deceive you. Your job may not make you rich in terms of salary, but your job can help you become rich in terms of experience. Listen, there is no boss, there is no employer that can take what you have learned from you. I tell my people this every day. The money I'm paying you is not what will make you. It's the life I'm giving you. It's the experience I'm putting into you. I take time to let them know why I do certain things I'm doing. So that when they are on their own, they can think, oh, if it is Mr. Debo that is making this decision, this is why I do what I'm doing. For those that cares to know. So you want to start with nothing and end somewhere, you must give something. That something may be your time. That something may be your money. You must give something. There is a required for you to get the desired. Let it sink. There is a required. There is what it costs. On earth, you must give something to have something. You cannot get something for nothing. Pastor Moses Olaloye, thank you very much, sir, for this contribution. Pastor said, maybe the person asking the question needs to be more explicit to understand this question more better. Personally, thank you, sir. So that's why I've taken time to explain some of these things. And I'm sure whoever the person is, you have gotten that part of it. You see, while I was growing up, I learned a lot from my father, who happened to be my first teacher. I didn't know I was learning. Just like Steve Jobs said, the dot of life is connected backward. I learned plumbing, carpentry, bricklaying, building, several things from my father. I didn't know I had learned those things. I didn't know I had soaked up those things until I began to do certain things. And I was shocked where the ideas, where the knowledge were coming from. When I was studying quantity surveying, I didn't understand certain things on paper until I got back home. And I was involved in plumbing, laying the pipes for our farm. And I understood, socket, certain things. I was measuring, we were building non-returnable valve. I started to put some things in place. And I now began to, what Daddy was making me to do is what I'm being told to measure. I was doing that. Take off sheet, substructure. Look, as I was now doing these things academically in class, I could relate them to those things I was being made to do at home. That I was angry. I was like, wow. I did a project one day and somebody asked me, who taught you? Who trained you in this particular thing? I said, from home. He said, what? I said, yes. I learned to drive a car at 16. You don't tell my father that you don't know what the problem with your car is. Before you call a mechanic, you must know if it's your battery that is bad, or it is your pumping, your fuel pump that is not functional, or it is plugged. The sound your car makes, my father will ask you, what is wrong with the car? What is wrong with that thing? You don't tell him, I don't know. You must have an idea. I was soaking in all these things I didn't know until later in life. Several years later, when I now look back, I'm like, wow, truly the dot of life is connected backward. I will stop here. I have 14 questions. I've treated 9. Next week, we continue with the remaining ones. And if there are more questions comes along, I'll add it to it. We will take it. So I want to appreciate everyone that joined today's chat. Thank you for being part of it. For all the contributions, I appreciate you, Mr. Toba Tiami. I appreciate you, sir. Many have learned a lot working free of charge in structured environment. You are right, sir. So much. And this is one of the things people underestimate. Working in a place before starting up your business. You see, you can't pay for that knowledge. You cannot. It makes your personal enterprise, it makes you grow fast. Because you have learned, you have not used your money for experiment. You have not used your time. There are things, like I said, took us 10 years to learn. You can learn it in 1 year, working for a structured organization. Mr. Olagokioni, I hope your one-on-one session is still ongoing. Yes, it's ongoing. You can send a chat or send the link of what it's like. I offer an advisory service, paid advisory service actually. So you can send a message. I can get that across to you. So thank you everyone who have been part of today. I appreciate you. Mr. Olagoki, thank you. My brother, Daniel Awolaru, Shansa, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you for joining us today. Muiwa Wisdom, that's another friend of mine. Thank you for being a part of today's meeting. Isaiah Amadi Kechuku, thank you for joining. Thank you to Dolapo Kuye. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you to my wife for being a part of this, for all the, helping to retype some of those things. I appreciate you. Farmer Samson Ogbole. Thank you for all your contribution and everything, I appreciate you. Ajaba Maureen, thank you. I'm sure Maureen can relate with some of these things I'm saying. Clara Kachi, thank you. Oyeni is somewhere. Our senior farmer, our engineer, thank you. Israel Feromi Ajibade, thank you very much. Ajibola Bernard Olani, thank you. Madam Tabita, thank you. That's my sister from Ontario. I appreciate you. Tolu Lokwe Sabina, Doctor, thank you for being a part. You've always been coming first, like I said. There is a gift for you, don't worry. Alberto Kenneth, hey, how you doing, my brother? Thank you. Rhoda, wonderful. How are we doing? How is Bayelsa? Thank you. Mr. Osage Johnson, thank you. Toby, how are you doing, my brother? Thank you. Everyone who have joined today, I want to appreciate you for joining. If probably I didn't see your name and I didn't mention it, Mr. Rashid Olashini, thank you for joining. I didn't undermine you. I appreciate every one of you. See you next Sunday. Agochika, my regular. Oh, thank you, my brother. I appreciate everyone. Mr. Ezekiel Abiodo, thank you. Rashida Dawofeso Shitu, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. See next Sunday. We'll continue with the questions and, I'm sure it will be a wonderful time. So have a great week, everyone. Let's maximize the remaining week in the month of May. See you next week.